Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. That's Tom Fornelli. I'm Chip Patterson. And Tom, it's been a week in Chapel Hill around the University of North Carolina football program. And, you know, whether you want to start with our choices to celebrate or not celebrate the former ACC Player of the Year who happened to ball out on Sunday Night Football, whether or not who pulled the plug on a docuseries about this particular season. We detailed on Monday's show the lengthy letter that was written to boosters and supporters about Trust the Process. We also have reporting from Heels 24/7, our partners at 24/7 Sports, that perhaps university leaders are exploring what a potential exit plan might look like. We've got a quarterbacks coach who is reportedly suspended for impermissible benefits, more reporting around possible violations within the program, and then a totally normal college football thing on Wednesday night about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time of an off week. Simple statements released by Bill Belichick and the University of North Carolina Athletics Director, Bubba Cunningham, both Bill Belichick confirming his commitment to the University of North Carolina football program, and then Bubba Cunningham saying that Bill Belichick does have the support of the Department of Athletics and University. Normal week, right? Off week. Let's just kick back, relax.
Does the statement not wrap everything up? I think it's pretty clear. Everything's fine. Everybody's great.
Fine.
That's why you're releasing statements on Wednesday night after 5 games, the first year into your tenures. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Do not worry. Yeah, listen, you know what? North Carolina hired Bill Belichick because they wanted to get the program attention. They wanted to put it in the spotlight. And I think that so far, this is working great because here we are. We're talking about North Carolina. Everybody's talking about North Carolina and how wonderful this all is going. And if only there'd been somebody who from the very jump was talking about what a terrible idea it would have been to hire Bill Belichick. Oh, wait, that was me. I was the one who was saying it was a terrible hire. And it's been a terrible hire so far, Chip. But I want to hear more of your thoughts on the situation, seeing as how this is near and dear to your heart.
I like when we get to talk about these things all the way through the process, because I try not to just copy and paste, right? You know, a lot of times people in our position, you come up with an opinion and that just kind of becomes your go-to opinion. And you can copy and paste that opinion as you go to different, television shows, CBS Sports HQ, CBS Sports Network, Cover 3 podcast, radio hits, and you can just repeat yourself. And not only does that bore me to do that, but it also, to not do that is to live it and to dig a little bit deeper. Like when we were in Tallahassee, like so much appreciation for everybody who came out, but talking to Florida State fans about what was happening at North Carolina, and I'm not trying to be demeaning here, but like they were still on the surface level of like, Jordan, right? Jordan on the sideline. And I'm like, buddy, it is so much deeper than that. Like you're sitting here and you're just scraping the top off. And I'm telling you that I'm down in here in the mud. I'm talking to former players who are on bad teams, and they're talking about memories of how road games were better than home games, because at home games, you'd be telling that girl that's in your small group in English 205 to come out and see you. And then you see her leaving midway through the second quarter because it's just not the place to be in Chapel Hill that day. Like the players who were sold a bill of goods about come to play for Bill Belichick, and now they are not at all receiving, based on a lot of different reporting, anything close to an organized program. They are not receiving anything in terms of like an open door for communication. The coaching staff, it certainly seems to already start to be getting off into their own silos. Players have left the program already. As I texted you, a certain star player has magically come down with an injury that's going to lead to an extended absence. Where am I right here, Tom? I'm at the point where I feel bad for 70 new players who have been let down in a major, major way. And I understand why the university is at least beginning to explore what it might look like, because that is a statement that the university is bigger than Bill Belichick. That the University of North Carolina was University of North Carolina before, and University of North Carolina will be the University of North Carolina after. And the problem is, of course, the politics within the University of North Carolina community, a coaching search where there was a more traditional angle being led by more traditional figures, and then a push for Bill Belichick in a power struggle that ended up winning. So now, how proud are those leaders who pushed for Bill Belichick? Are they going to be willing to say this was the wrong decision? How much money would that cost? And how much more embarrassment is the university ready to take on? Because those are why things went crazy. And Wednesday, while we're doing big game breakdown, I made the Jeremy Pruitt joke at the very top of the show. Remember Jeremy Pruitt? Magically, all of a sudden, we've overturned all these minor NCAA violations. Oh wow! Kevin Ollie at UConn. Oh, look at all these NCAA violations that just seem to be popping up out of nowhere. But then things got a little bit like, wait a second, what exactly is happening? And the more that I've sunk my teeth into it, I believe that two things are true. Number one, the University of North Carolina has an excellent law school. And these are the same legal teams who looked the NCAA dead in the eye and said, those fake classes were not just for athletes. Fraternity guys were in those classes too.
It's true.
And they got off. Like, they found the loophole to get off. So is there going to be perhaps a lot of research and digging? Who knows? Like, they've done some good work before, but at the same time, they've got a very good law school, and they're probably not going to rush to a Northwestern situation of trying to move fast to score a big political win and then get your ass handed to you in court. The way that, excuse me, I'm not a lawyer, but Tom, that is also close.
Yes,
okay,
that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that they are going to move quickly. And so anyone who thought that there was going to be a change in the immediate future, unless it is like mutually negotiated upon, the University of North Carolina, my guess, and this is again Chip Patterson editorializing, my guess is that they are going to be very careful to go through all of the processes to make sure everything is buttoned up before any action is taken by the university.
Yeah, I got to say, like, at this point, I feel like anything is possible. North Carolina's on a bye this week. I wouldn't be shocked if Belichick's not coaching when they're on the sideline next week. I wouldn't be shocked if he still is. I will be shocked if he's coaching there next year.
Right.
Because I just don't think anything is working. And if I don't know, so, like you mentioned, this is not really the direction the athletic department ever wanted to go in. It was kind of pushed on Bubba Cunningham and those guys. And I think there's a huge opportunity cost. Even if North Carolina does the correct thing now and moves on from Belichick, like last year, there's a very strong argument to be made that North Carolina was the best job available on the coaching market. There were only 3 or 4 Power 4 gigs open at the time, and North Carolina was the one with the most cachet. So it was going to be the most attractive option to any candidate that was looking to move up. This year, if North Carolina comes open, is it even a top 5 job? Like, you might have multiple SEC gigs open. In fact, you've already got one. You've got Virginia Tech's already open. You might have more Big Ten jobs open. North Carolina might not be able to go after the same caliber of candidate that it had the opportunity to go after last year. So I do feel like while North Carolina might make that decision, and it's in my book, it's the right decision, you've still set yourself back. It's not like you could just fix it. I mean, maybe you get the right correct hire and he really comes in there and he changes things quickly and turns it around. But I feel like you cost yourself a few years, not just one, with this Bill Belichick hire, no matter when you make the move. And I think that, as we've discussed, it's a dangerous time to be doing that. It's a dangerous time to be playing games with your football program, because when the ACC and the Florida State Clemson settled that lawsuit, like, they signed the death certificate of the conference. The fact of the matter is, once these current deals are up, Florida State's gone. Clemson's gone. Miami's probably gone. North Carolina might be gone. I mean, I know North Carolina is an attractive entity to both the Big Ten and the SEC. They do not have programs in that state, and it is a good school, and it would look great in your conference. But how does North Carolina look 5 years from now? If this is, if this Belichick hire has a detrimental effect that's more long-term than we realize, are they still attractive? I think that it sucks because I do think that somebody with more money than sense just kind of wanted to buy himself Bill Belichick for Christmas last year, and now North Carolina's got to deal with the ramifications.
To be a little bit less serious, but also I mean the words that I say, but I am telling jokes. North Carolina tried to be Alabama and found out they were Auburn. What's more SEC than boosters fighting with each other and bailing on a hire way too early just because they feel embarrassed? And
Greg Sankey's watching all this like, actually, you know what? I like these guys.
North Carolina thought they were going to be Alabama, but they found out that they're just Auburn with the power struggles and the boosters and the failed hires. And it's going to go right down to paying tens of millions of dollars to buy out coaches. I would argue UNC is making themselves very attractive to the SEC as a dysfunctional college football program that will spend a lot of money. And hey, I'll tell you what, sometimes we always talk about, how motivated is the SEC to add Florida State, right? Like Florida doesn't want to add Florida State. Alabama doesn't want to add Florida State. North Carolina, on the other hand, come on down.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, maybe to spin it on my own point, maybe this is good because, I was going to say, if you're Greg Sankey and you're talking about those schools like Florida State, Miami, Clemson, SEC already has a footprint in those states. And if you look at how the SEC has expanded in recent years, they've added in Texas and Oklahoma. They've got all these good programs. Somebody needs to come in and, in Bud's word, take these checks and take these losses. North Carolina's like, hey, look at us. Hey. We're ready to lose some football games, maybe go 6-6 or 7-5, and then compete in basketball.
They are going to pay their head coach $10 million, and they're going to go 2-10.
The Mark Stoops special.
What is more SEC than that? And so to back this up, and I made reference to this. College Football Reference does the simple rating system, more or less like a power rating based on performance. Currently, this is the second worst team on record behind the 1989 North Carolina team, I believe, that went 1-10 in year one under Mac Brown. Now, Michael Lombardi is going to tell me, but look what Mac Brown did, 8 years later in 1997 when he had a top 5 team. Buddy, you don't get that kind of runway in 2025 anywhere, and especially not with the 73, 74-year-old head coach.
This man's barely gotten 5 games before they want to run him out of town. He thinks he's going to get 5 years.
Also, again, I'm not telling a joke, but I'm just playing, though maybe not. I'm going to read the exact words of Bubba Cunningham's statement, because you mentioned Bubba Cunningham and his role in the hire. Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University. There's a
name missing there, Chip.
Yeah, it's weird. There's no my. There's no I. A lot of third person, not a lot of first person there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steve Newmark, by the way, is the AD in waiting who will be taking over and facing a boatload of challenges. The team stinks.
Mm-hmm.
The parents of the players are pissed. The players feel like they've been let down. The staff is not connected. That is what makes me willing to take those steps towards overreacting, because you've given nothing that's yeah. And here's what I'll say. My last straw is going to be that game at Cal. Because if getting out of Chapel Hill is a good thing, if being able to spend that time, maybe the players take this on and they really rally together. But if they go out and they get pounded and just look terrible,
mm-hmm.
then they're going to fly back home and they're going to play against Virginia. And guess what? Virginia's good. And that's like an old Reconstruction era rivalry. And if Virginia pounds them, then you're just then you've lost the season. And that's where it gets. Again, I am so far deeper. Like some people are on the surface with this Jordan, ha ha ha. I'm in the mud. Like there are 110 players that are being failed right now.
And I mean, like, why would you have reason to be optimistic that it will get better? Because think about it, if you're one of the players on this team, like you're not stupid, you know the situation, you know how things are going on the field, but you're trying to show up. You want these guys to rally and get their stuff together and, take it, turn the program around while their general manager is releasing letters saying, hey, yeah, we know we suck, but it's about the long term. So it's
40
like
new players.
he's telling that entire locker room, yeah, we knew they weren't any good. We just needed bodies. It's like, all right, man, cool. I really want to play hard for you.
Yeah, not good. And again, my last word here in terms of timeline. If something happens quickly, I think it is because Bill Belichick or people around him have decided that they just don't want to deal with it. I think that the University of North Carolina, the administration, the boosters, and the fans are all still not on the same page for any action to be taken. So it could get worse before anything gets resolved. Oh boy!
Yay.
Off this week, bye week for the win. I think they've got the victory. Lock it up. He is Tom Fornelli, and you can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fornelli. You can follow me at Chip _Patterson. Tom, thank you very much.
You're welcome.